Let's take a look at some student work from number 4 of your quiz. Here we have work from student A and student B. Look carefully at their representations and how they solved, and then decide, whose work do you agree with? Whose work accurately represents and solves our problem? You should be thinking carefully, looking at each student's work. When you make a decision, write down either A or B and take notes on why you agree with that student. Get ready to show A or B high above your head. Get ready. Show. I'm looking around and I'm noticing that some friends agree with student A and some friends agree with student B. If you agree with student B, share your thinking. Why? I heard friends say that they agree with student B because student B identified that there was 4 liters in our beaker before the party started and 1 liter in our beaker after the party started. If you put the amount before and the amount after together, we get an amount of lemonade that represents the total lemonade served at the party. Interesting. If you agree with student A, why? Go ahead and say your answer out loud. I heard friends say that they agree with student A because they subtracted the amount that was left after the party was over from the amount we started with before the party started. When we subtract those 2 amounts, we get an answer of 3 liters served at the party. Now that we've heard from both students, what do you think now? Who do you agree with, A or B? Go ahead and say the answer out loud. You're correct. Student A's work is accurate and better matches the story because they thought about the actions in the story and what that means for the operations we can use to solve. In our story, it tells us that there was an amount of lemonade before the party and after the party. We know that at the party, people are drinking the lemonade that's making the amount that we had to start smaller. If we're making the amount we had to start smaller, that's the same as subtraction. So subtraction makes sense. If we added the amount that was in the beaker before and the amount that was left, we would get a total amount of liters of lemonade that's greater than the amount we started with, 4 liters. Today we learned that student A's work was more accurate because the representation matched what was happening in our story. People that attended the party were drinking lemonade, and so the amount of lemonade was getting smaller over time. Today, as you represent and solve problems, you should always be thinking, does my representation match the actions in the story?